Hi guys, I'm coming on a couple minutes early. I sometimes think that that's a good thing to do just because it gives everybody a chance to hop on. I don't see anybody yet, so I'll just hang out here and patiently wait for you guys. All right, there we've got the first person. And again, as I see people starting to join, as you do, I'd love it if you said hello so I can say hello back to you. I hope things are going okay for everyone. It's Wednesday. Do you find that it's hard to keep track of what day it is when you're just home all the time? You know, when we're going to work, there are certain things we do on different days, and a lot of us have to write down the date again and again and again, whether it was like me having to say, "Good morning, everyone. It's Wednesday, April 15th," or whether you're just having to write down that date on papers, business papers that you're working on or checks that you're writing. Do you still write checks? I never write checks anymore. I do pretty much all of my things on online banking, and I just don't really write any checks anymore. It's crazy. It's crazy how life changes. And, I don't know about you, but I think life is going to change a lot even after we so-called go back to normal. Do you think it's really going to be really normal? I don't know. I think it's going to be different. Um, so it is the 15th of April. We all know what that is. Usually that's tax day, right? I don't want to give misinformation, but I think they pushed that sucker back, don't you? I'm pretty sure they did. Hi, Linda. Linda, hi, Joan. Um, Made it back from my run in time for you. Good for you. But Linda, you've always been one to stay really healthy and fit. You're an inspiration yourself up there in Canada. Um, Hi, Cricket. How you doing? And hey, Cricket, I don't know if you're up in Maine. Let's see, have to put daily things on a paper calendar. All right, I admit, I don't know if you guys can see this. I have this calendar. I never thought I would ever give up my day runner or my Filofax. I went from a Filofax to a day runner. That was like a big deal. And man, that thing, and it got loaded with stuff. Do you remember this? I carried that day runner with me everywhere I went. Pages and pages of everybody, all the contacts. I mean, it was crazy. And the little calendar, except we had to write really little because it was only like this big. I didn't carry a big one, I carried a smaller one. And you would never have been able to convince me that I would have let go of that and that all of that would end up in my phone. Like our phone is now our day runner, it's our alarm clock, it's our flashlight, it's our music, it can be our TV, it's like everything. Like I've never stopped to think about how many other things has the phone taken over the use of. It's crazy. Hi, Vincent. Good to have you back here today from New York City. Is it just totally weird there in New York City? It must be. It must be. Like streets, although I've seen reporters, especially on the 6 o'clock news, and there like are cars and people behind them. But I did hear this morning that I forget what state it was in, but someone had like a group of people somewhere and they gave them arrest warrants. They arrested them for not obeying the stay at home. Hi, Sandy Stockdale from Naples, Florida. Must be nice there where you are. I know my husband's still in West Palm Beach, Florida. I talk to him every day. He tries not to rub it in, well, it's 90 today and we're out by the pool. And Shelley, yes, to July 15th. Oh yeah, okay, sorry, I know what you're talking about. Okay, tax day got moved from April 15th to July 15th. I mean, they had to do that. I mean, every single other thing. And it's almost going to be weird. Like, I was booked to do so many different appearances, speeches. They all got canceled, of course. And a lot of them have rebooked me for the same time, Same time, same place, but 2021. So I was talking to my um, accountant yesterday and I said, is it going to be weird for you to have like this income? Half of it comes in when they book me, and that's going to be in 2020, and then the other half's going to be in 2021. He said, it's no problem. Hi, Jeanette Persons from North Dakota. You want to know if I got the kitten? Okay, hold on, you guys. Let me see if I'm adept enough at all of this. You ready? So here is, he's 8 months old. You guys see it? That's my daughter, Kim. She likes doing her distance learning. Let me see how I do this. Her distance learning in her room at her desk, which of course is usually her little, skincare, makeup, whatever counter. And look at him. He is her study buddy. Ever since the first day, little Milo, we got him from this cool breeder, Angel Cats, which is also up in Connecticut, a like social distancing trade-off of, although I saw a report the other day, or I read it online, that there's all the, what do you call them, the rescue shelters have had a surge of adoptions where people wanted to have like a little friend with them. And we know a lot about, how having an animal, you can see what it's doing for my Kim. So there's a lot of people doing a lot of wonderful things just to make other people, whether it's taking an elderly person, an animal that can become their little buddy, or whether people are, I know even through my son's school, they're like, people are cooking meals and they're making tons of, lunches with sandwiches and things, and they're taking them around and dropping them off. I mean, the amount of compassionate giving that's going on is really pretty spectacular, I think. Hi, Edward. Is it Heptich from Toronto? There's Linda saying she used a Filofax for years. And I lost it once on an airplane I was actually on my way to LA to cover the sentencing, a sentencing trial, and left it on the plane. And I went through hoops to get that thing back, but I got it back. Kim is saying hi from Richmond, Virginia. Pat Little from Stewart, Florida. It's 93 degrees. Thank you very much for that little rub-in. The sun's out slightly today. In fact, that's why I moved back in my office, because there was so much sun coming through the windows, but it's still kind of crispy cool. So, but there are a lot of people doing crazy, wonderful things. Like on Easter, if you peruse any of your social media platforms, or just look at, YouTube, you probably saw people, they were doing Easter egg hunts in their backyard. I posted the other day, did you see that crazy dad I posted, where he had this kid in the little car and he zoomed them all the way around the yard, and then they went up and over like he was, what's the guy who Evel Knievel? It was an Evel Knievel dad. But there are some people really they'll go to any lengths to bring a smile to people's faces, like this guy. Yep, he is in a bunny costume made of balloons, as is his carrot, also made out of balloons, out on his front lawn, just for one purpose, just to make everybody smile. Come on, tell me that you didn't smile when you just saw that, huh? Just tell me that it didn't make you smile. So I was wondering, did he make the thing and then somehow get up in it, or did he make it on himself? So I found out that his name is Anthony Melcar. Let's ask. All right, let's ask him. Here, I'm going to FaceTime him. I don't know him, by the way. I see that I have a hair out of place. Hi, Anthony.
Hello.
Hi, Joan Lunden. How you doing?
Yes. Hi, Joan.
That's an interesting bracelet. You say
Thanks
hi
for
to all my...
having me.
Say hi to all of my
Yes,
Facebook.
this is my ladybug bracelet here. It's one of my favorite designs I love to make at all my birthday parties and events.
All right, so yesterday you had the bunny there too, right?
Yes, I'm just gonna move over here to my chair. Can you
With
see me?
Oh yeah, and I see all your creations there. I see
Yeah,
the
thank you.
That's
Well,
obviously your bunny right next to you.
it sure is. Yeah, this was a fun build that I made for Easter Sunday this past weekend.
How tall is it?
Oh gosh. Well, let's see. I'm 5'7", so this ceiling is it's probably at least 8 feet tall, 9 feet tall. Yeah,
So
with the ears.
so here's my big question.
Yeah.
Did you, based on your measurements, build it and then somehow have somebody help you put it over your head and wiggle into it? Or did you build part of it on you?
Great question. No, actually, I built it entirely just as a cylinder piece alone, using these balloons that are called, depending on the brand, Linkaloons or Quick Links. What's interesting about them is they have a tip on the opposite end of the balloon. So a normal average balloon that you see at any given party store just has a nozzle.
Right.
So this also has a tip on the opposite end, so you can create and you can tie them all together to create chains and rings. So this is essentially just a column, a cylinder, and I built it about what did I use? I think I used 8 balloons around. So each circle had 8 balloons, and for my body size and for the average person, that's big enough to put it over your head and just kind of shimmy it down.
Did you keep track of how many it took to do the whole thing?
How many balloons?
Yeah.
Yes, I had that written down somewhere. Actually, interesting enough, you say that this was for a hashtag called 1 million bubbles. So, yeah, the goal was to create joy and build something, but also count how many balloons, whatever you were making, whether it be a rainbow arch or a column with a sun, all over the world, all artists did their own thing, and this was what I thought of. I did not count how many balloons.
And you didn't count. Wait, so at this point, I should tell people that I don't know how old you were when you discovered this talent.
About 5 years ago.
All right,
So,
and
32 now.
one might consider it a useless talent, except you've grown it into a business. So for parties and things, you create balloon walls and balloon arches, right? And theme parties.
Correct, yeah. The step and repeats are a lot of fun. I love them. And I use the Linkaloons. The Linkaloon is probably one of my favorite balloons to build those, 10 by 10 or 8 by 8 photo op / balloon walls.
And I just saw a balloon floating by. Like most people have dust bunnies in their house, but do you have like balloons that you find behind sofas?
Balloon vomit everywhere. Under my couch, in the drawers, in my pockets, in my car, everywhere. But they really come in handy sometimes. Just like it's like a rubber band. They're super strong. You can fix things around the house or use them as friend ties.
So do any of your family members taunt you with a safety pin?
Yeah, no.
Hey, listen, I found out about you because you went to college with my assistant, Nicole.
Yes, Nicole, yes. We did a production of Urinetown together.
Yeah, and you were theater majors. So you really are kind of, you've just taken theater in a different direction. But let me tell you, that was such a crazy cute Facebook. I'm sure that you brought a lot of talent. In some of the comments that I've had here on my Facebook Live, like especially on Monday, the day after Easter, they were talking about people dressing up and doing different things in their neighborhoods. But this takes the cake. So,
oh, wow.
So thank you, Anthony.
Yes, thank you. It was a pleasure, and I loved walking around the neighborhood, and I was able to spread joy through these difficult times we're in right now. It was amazing to see all the kids at their front windows waving at the Easter Bunny, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was really special to me.
All right, well, keep it up, okay? Besides your balloons, balloon business, you are bringing hope and smiles and laughs to everybody right now when they really need it, and we all appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much.
All right. I'll say bye-bye to Anthony. That was really cool, though, isn't it? I mean, people do these things, and they don't do it for the recognition at all. But they do really make us all smile. Now, there's another person, and I've known about this one for a little while, because this person has a podcast, and I was just on it recently. She is, her name's Mindy Sterns. She lives out in California. We have a mutual friend, Laura Morton, who has written a lot of books with me. And she has a unique talent. And by the way, if any of you guys have some unique talent, do you juggle? Do you make little crazy things out of crocheting? Do you, is there anything that you do? And if you do, share it with me. I'd love to know about it. Oh, hi, Beth from Scottsdale, Arizona. And Carmen, oh, you're in Naples, but you are in Naples, Maine. Big difference from Naples, Florida. How you doing, Carmen? You say it's sunny, but still cold and breezy. And here's Linda Adair. Ask him to sing. Sorry, I didn't see this till after he was gone. Come on, his talent is animal balloons. But wait until you meet this person, okay? Her name is Mindy Sterns. I've never met her in person, but I did her podcast. And she knows I'm going to call, all right? And I'll let her tell you. Hey, Mindy.
Good morning or good afternoon, where you are.
Well, you are in LA. Say hi to all the folks that are joining me each day. So, Mindy, I think the best way to introduce you is to take you back in time.
Oh boy, I love time travel.
And you know what day I'm talking about. So, you were dying to go to the Oprah show. You were a dental hygienist, excuse me, and you and your mom, I think it was you and your mom.
It was my parents, both of them.
Both of them. Oh, okay. And the three of you got tickets, and you went, and you were sitting in the audience at the Oprah show.
Oh my God, we are going back.
All right.
We're going way back.
So tell me what happened that day on the set of Oprah.
Well, I had always aspired to broadcast television, started in college, and just wasn't sure where that was going to go. So I got a degree in hygiene, ended up getting engaged, and moved to Chicago. And my fiance at the time, I was living out there, and my mom got tickets to the Oprah show. It was my birthday. And we were sitting in the audience, and I'd always done these noises in college. All my college sorority sisters know that. And I used to make I still do, animal calls. And Oprah was sitting in her dressing room. The show was starting. The producer was warming up the audience. And she came out as I was entertaining the audience and pulled me back out onto the stage. And the next thing you know, she was doing an interview with me on her show. And it turned into 5 appearances over the course of a few years. It ended up helping me get a job in media and television broadcast, and I worked in Los Angeles at KTLA for a good 6 years. I was Entertainment Tonight for a little spell with Mary Hart, and then never got to work with the great Joan Lunden, so this is a privilege.
Well, you're here today. You're working now with Joan Lunden. And if you think I'm going to let you off the hook without giving us some of your talent. Okay, a rooster.
The crowd favorite. Okay, so it's still early here, so I might wake up a few neighbors. Of course, my kids who are in homeschool and still in bed, I'm sure.
Now, a little birdie told me that when you call your kids to the table or something, that you often do it with that.
Well, no, I do this sound. I make this noise, and it travels across the greatest stadiums and crowds, and my kids will snap their heads and look at me instead of trying to be like, Taylor, girls. Yep. I just make that sound, and they snap, and they beat back, so we know we've communicated. So that's how I communicate with my kids.
I know that you do a baby cry. Did you learn it from your kids, or did you already have it down before they were born?
I perfected it with my kids, but I had it before they were around, so... This one is like not sure what to think.
Oh. So wait a second, because I want to get to Roxy, because I know that Roxy and Bear have their own Instagram page. We'll get to that. So
No
wait a
problem.
second. So this, what one would consider a useless talent, it really was the launching pad for your career.
It really was. It opened so many doors. Oprah's pulling me out of the audience, and it wasn't something that I really was. It was a very unconventional way to go about it. But I feel like in life, sometimes when the door opens, you got to walk through.
Absolutely.
Opportunity knocks all the time, and people don't answer the door. So I answered the door, and it turned into an incredibly lucrative career. And I've got really lucky. I got really lucky and really fortunate to have a very good career in entertainment television and entertainment news. It got me in the film The Princess Diaries, which Gary Marshall. I have a small role in there. I met Anne Hathaway and Julie Andrews, another icon. And, it opened a lot of doors. And, if you have a talent, show it.
Yeah.
Don't be quiet about it, because you never know who's listening and you never know what kind of doors it'll open for you. So
I have people saying, Sue Jeffries, I love the baby cry. Trevor Stearns, Mindy's awesome. And Nava is watching from Tel Aviv, Israel.
Wow!
She's loving this.
Israel, I visited Israel a year ago. I love Israel. Oh, such a beautiful country.
So listen.
There's another one here. There's another one I hear in LA a lot. You don't hear a lot now because there's not a lot of traffic or cars.
I love these. They're so much fun. Being around your house must be like super crazy.
It's crazy, but not for the reasons you might think.
So listen, you were back on the Oprah show. You eventually met your husband and you guys got married, had quite a fairy tale wedding. Whoops. Pause.
Sorry,
there you are.
My daughter's
Okay.
calling me, so
And Oprah did a series on fairy tale weddings, the most incredible weddings. And you were back on her show with your wedding, right? And she called you, by the way. She said, and you all remember the rooster lady? So now you're the rooster lady.
Yes. Oh my daughter is killing me. She's trying to, because she doesn't know I'm on this interview. Yes, I was back on for I was on for the wedding. It was Fairy Tale Weddings, and I was on 5 different times. It was also on Where Are They Now? I also made the DVD collection on her 20th anniversary DVD. So Oprah's been a good friend of my life and my career and has really helped me in many, many immeasurable ways. And then my husband, you may know, he recently did the Discovery show, Undercover Billionaire, which was one of Discovery's one of their highest rated shows. I think it's re-airing now. But that just was such a great show on starting from nothing and growing a business with $100 in his pocket and no identity, and it really resonated. So we keep busy. We don't stop.
You sure do. And I know that your husband sold his big business, then theoretically retired, but now
Joan, he had a couple brushes with cancer, throat cancer, which slowed life down for us.
But he's okay.
He's recovered. He's in remission. This man is one of the strongest men I know. And after we had a little bit of a 5 years off with the family, we went around the world and took the kids out of school and gave them a traveling education. Well, he decided after the show, he got a little bug in him and decided to go back to work. So he founded a new company, another mortgage company called Kind Lending, which will be open for business in a couple of weeks. And I am the chief happiness officer.
Okay, so that's what I was going to ask you. I love the fact that he's doing kindness lending. He's taking like the pain out of it for a lot of people. But you're the chief happiness officer. I want to know what a chief happiness officer does for a company.
I bring smiles, I bring joy, I bring inspiration, and I bring really good donuts. There's a place called Sidecar Donuts here in Orange County, and it has the best donuts. I mean, they even do drive up. I am telling you, anything I can do to create smiles and joy, share funnies, come in, make the office happy, bring flowers. When we're in office, obviously we're trying to do a lot of it online now, funnies, inspiration. It's just, what I think a work environment is so important to have morale and a culture of
Oh,
joy
yeah.
and appreciation. We've been getting new employees coming aboard, and they all appreciate being in an environment where everyone is there. We're balcony people. We're all pulling each other up. There's a lot of joy and celebration. People are really excited. Glenn has an incredible reputation in the mortgage industry. So Kind Lending just kind of personifies the group that we've attracted. And I couldn't be more proud. I mean, I am the CHO. I do call myself the chief hoe. I am
Of course
sleeping
you
with the
do.
boss after all.
Of course you do. Hey, listen, I mean, everyone's wondering right now what's just going to happen when we try to creep back into normalcy. Do you think Glenn would join us one day and talk about?
Absolutely.
Okay, because I know he's a great guy.
He's so interesting in and of itself. He's got a great story. He's doing a Zoom right now to a huge mortgage conference. He and I both have podcasts. His is called Grit Happens. It's on Apple Podcasts, and because his life is about grit. You know, he had a child at 14, and really rose above his adversity as a member of the Horatio Alger Association, one of our most proud associations and charities. So he is a great success story of someone who has been knocked down. I mean, from childhood, and then cancer, and then his old company being bought out from under him, and then filing bankruptcy, and just rising again. He is a phoenix, and so Grit Happens is his podcast.
And so Grit Happens is all about, and yours, I love yours. You started yours with a couple of friends, and
Yes.
it's called Friendsome and Then Some, and the three of them together are really unbelievably fun. I did the podcast, I don't know, like 2 weeks ago or something, and had a great time on it. But besides having her podcast and also doing the podcast Grit Happens with her husband, you're like kind of a sensation on Instagram. But let me tell you, but the way she's an Instagram sensation, remember the other day when I had my fitness trainer on, Beth, and we were talking about doing the 20s, or even if you do the 10s, but doing like a certain set, like every day to kind of create that habit. Well, you, Mindy, you have an Instagram page. It's called Sterns Strong, and that's STEARNS Strong.
Yes.
There's an S on
Yes.
Sterns, and you got to go to it and see it, because she does the 20s, but she does. Tell me if I'm right. Legs, arms, abs.
I do push-ups, 20 push-ups, 20 legs, whether lunges, squats, and 20 ab workouts, whatever it is. And I do them anytime, anywhere. I film them in time lapse, so you get to see. So it's kind of like accountability. I do them wherever I can. I grab my kids, I grab the dogs, grab the family, and I try to post them all the time. I started doing 24 after Kobe Bryant.
Oh.
Since he passed away, so I just wanted to have a little Mambo mentality and add 4 more.
But wait a second. What you're going to see when you go on her Instagram and look is you're going to see her doing them in, I don't know what store it was, but she's in the area where all the dressing rooms are, and there's a mirror, and these people are coming out, going to the mirror, and she's just doing these things, and they're kind of like, what the heck? She does them in the snow, like up to her waist in the snow. She does them on a surfboard. Like, it's
Anywhere.
crazy. Anywhere.
20s, anytime, anywhere. That's my hashtag. Hashtag 2020s, anytime, anywhere. Because you really don't need anything. You don't need a gym. You don't need weights. All you need is your body and your feet. And you just start wherever you are. I've done it in the plaza in Ibiza, just in the street. I was doing it, and people were like, what? I was like, gotta get them in. And I just like to find a new backdrop every time I do it.
It's fun to see.
I'm challenged right now, but
And it's fun to see the people look at you. I mean, it's you're bringing smiles to people's faces, and you're also helping our environment. You are on the board of directors, I believe, of the National Parks Foundation. Is that right?
Oh, I am such a park advocate. I have been since I was a child. My mom and dad who are watching, Joyce and Eric, they brought me into the parks as a child. We backpacked and hiked in the Mount Hood Wilderness area and the Jefferson Wilderness area. We did so much. My father really instilled, and my mom instilled a deep appreciation of the parks. So when I was invited to be a member, I was appointed under the administration, and I was so honored to join the National Park Foundation because it does so much. We are the philanthropic arm of the National Park Service, so everything we raise goes to help with education for the parks and helping raise money for the backlog of deferred maintenance. We have a $12 billion backlog. But right now, a lot of our parks are closed.
Yes.
So it's so heartbreaking, but you can still go to the parks on nationalparks.org and get a virtual park experience. You can go see the parks, and there's a lot of live cameras showing what's happening in different parks across the globe and the nation. And we've got a lot of exciting things going. We're working on getting in the virtual world and bringing that to people. And so there's a lot I'm so proud of being part of this foundation. They do so much for preservation of our monuments and our parks and making them clean and supported. And, I always encourage people. That's one thing that is bipartisan, non-political. Everybody.
A tree is a tree.
Tree is a tree. It has no flag. It has no symbol. It's just a tree. It has life. And that's what we need to protect. And so I'm always encouraging people to support your park anytime you can. The entrance fees are so low, and people, just be part of the parks in any way you can. Because if those go, man, then we are in trouble.
Yeah.
That's all part of the planet. So.
And there's a wonderful thing called grounding, where if you go, when you go into and you're all with the nature, and you can take your shoes off and walk, and it's something that's supposed to be really good for your health and your immune system. And right now, when people are inside, this is a cool thing for them to watch as a family, to plan a family trip, because it's always good to have plans that gives you hope for your future. And kids would probably really love watching it. And some of the parks, there are bears and all different kinds of animals.
There's so much to see. Joan, I'm really hoping that travel opens up soon. I'm going to throw in another mention. I do have a concierge travel company called Black Key Travel, and we have a list called the Wander List, and you can go on with your family. There's a membership fee. I think we're having a big discount right now, but you can go on and you can make your list. When you want to get outdoors and plan your next vacation, we can help you, but then you're going to see, where did your kids want? You'd be surprised. Some children and parents and family have different ideas of where they want to see and what places they want to visit, and it's a really eye-opening experience for family and kids, and I really hope we get out soon. I'm ready to get back.
You're talking my story now, because I'm an adventurer and I love travel. Of course, I've traveled so much in my career. It's just unbelievable. I don't even really know how many countries, but I love traveling. So how do you find that Black Tree?
You know what? It's been, I get out of the house. It is difficult. I feel thankful that we've had a very vast travel experience in our life. So I'm glad we've had the opportunity to get out. I'm thankful for what our lives have created. And I miss it. We had plans to be in so many places this summer, specifically back in Jackson Hole, one of my favorite places where
and you know that I climbed the Tetons. I climbed the Tetons.
You are amazing.
What an experience that was. And I did that with Laura Morton, our mutual friend. That's how I learned about you, was through Laura. And
thank you, Laura.
Yeah, that way I think we might have put that one in the category of been there, done that, not necessarily again.
I have so much respect for you. We moved to Jackson Hole for 7 years, took our kids out of school, moved into the mountains. We bought that at an auction, a chance to climb the Grand. I'll tell you what, I was like, no way, we're not equipped for that. That is insane. And then I hear you did it with Laura. I'm like, wow, I kind of feel like I should have done it. That's such an incredible thing that you did. I mean, amazing feat. Amazing.
It was one of the most incredible experiences ever. Well, I'm going to probably be using your Black Key Travel. Black Key. So everyone else, you can check out her Instagram if you're on Instagram. But I was really happy to be able to share you today with all my friends, good friends here.
Podcast with my two BFFs, Michelle and JD, Friendsome, and then some. We can still listen to it. You can still hear it on Apple Podcasts. So if you haven't heard Joan, she's a gal's gal. You're a gal's gal. I love being around you.
Oh, great.
Mindy, can't wait till we can share a real hug.
All right. Well, I'll be waiting for that one. All right. Bye-bye, Mindy. Isn't she just like a cool, amazing person? I mean, and there was, what you would consider a little silly thing, but that she did these like animal sounds, but it literally launched her career. So that's about it for today. What is it? Everything's backward on this, when you do these. Shameless book plug. But the reason why I'm doing this is big news of the week. Amazon is shipping again. They've got, and did you, any of you guys go and look? There's a video of, was it Jeff Bezos? I think it was him walking in to go into one of the big Amazon warehouses, and they have all this plastic and they take your temperature and everything. Like they're really being careful because they shut down for a while. But now you can order this again. Finally. Why did I come into this room? So now we can finally, I mean, a lot of you have been getting them because you've been telling me that you, but you might have received it from Premier Books. Maybe you went in through joanlundenbook.com or from Barnes and Noble. I happened to check Barnes and Noble yesterday, and you can still get autographed books. I went in and autographed hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of books for hours for Barnes and Noble. So that would be great. And I'm going to ask all of you a big favor. All right. We've gotten to know each other enough. I can ask you a favor. If you've read the book or you're reading the book, wherever you ordered it, would you mind going to that site and just putting in a little review for it? That would be really, it'll just kind of make my day. You guys make my day every day when I read all your comments. I love reading all your comments. And you've probably noticed that, like, I can't, like, I try to answer, at least, but really answer. I at least read it and like it. I mean, I see all of your comments. But I really, and here's somebody, by the way, here's Linda Thomas says, both guests for today were so delightful. I'm so glad that you liked them because I thought, it was just a really fun thing to do because there are a ton of people around the country doing amazing things. And by the way, if you've been doing things, if you've been sewing masks, I saw one woman yesterday, and I'm sorry I didn't write your name down so I could say it now, that you said you were watching as you were home making masks for people. So for all of you from Canada, from Tel Aviv, from Sweden, from all of you, thank you for joining me every day. Have a great day, and I will see you back tomorrow.